Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Tony Stark Iron Man issue 9. And this is a pretty good issue, because we see everything going on, but the main focus is Tony being trapped in the escape. So we start off and we see that Rhodey and Wasp are dealing with the controller, and that they really need some backup. Cap's in DC, but saying that no, it's like Grand Theft Auto out here, and you're gonna have to kind of deal with it on your own. Riri also chimes in saying that the champions are dealing with escape people as well, and they aren't able to get any of the other reserved Avengers into the fray at the moment. So it's just Rhodey and Wasp battling this gigantic oversized controller. Well, as we're going through this, we see that the controller can only focus his attention on certain things at once. So he'd either have to be fighting Rhodey or the Wasp, or, I don't know, trying to really use Cave at Stark's headquarters to try and stop Andy from derailing his whole escape plan. And Wasp is able to figure that out, zap the controller's body, and that fuzzes him up enough on Cave to be like, oh god, she's out of under his control, like, oh shit, it's me. Tosses the stun gun to Andy, and then of course Controller's able to get back on to him, but he's able to knock her out before she does any real damage, because she was threatening to take out Amanda. Of course, Andy's able to kind of like put her to one side while he's trying to work on his device to take out the control disc in the escape masks. And we see that the controller is rightfully pissed at this and decides to go full force on Wasp and Rhodey. That's about the extent that we have going on there as we shift our main focus over to what's going on in the escape. And I love how the art style does a nice homage to the 60s era of Iron Man. It follows throughout the whole part as Motherboard, as Maria Stark is trying to take over this kind of portion of the escape. And of course, Amanda's trying to get through to Tony, but it's not really working, and Amanda eventually changes her avatar to look like a Russian spy, so she has to escape. She's like, crap, how the hell do I get out of this? Of course, Tony's in pursuit because he's believing it's the 60s and he's got to go after Russian spies and all that kind of stuff because of the Cold War and all that. And she runs into Machine Man, and she's like, what the hell? Okay, oh, so you're using an interface that if I'm close enough to you, it'll mask my presence as well. And then he sees that like Tony's going around the perimeter on roller skates. He's like, what the hell decade is this? And they're trying to figure out what to do with this, because Motherboard's like, I can do anything for him here. Give him friends to impress, puzzles to solve, nations to have, like, cow them to be from their ambitions, like Crimson Dynamo, with the whole Soviet Russia, and just seeing her be able to plan this out and everything and work it to Tony's whole kind of feel is just really kind of creepy. You have to watch out for that as an AI, because you put them in a world that they have control over, and they can control how you see yourself and everything around you. It's like, that's a pretty big thing for Tony to take on. And of course, Amanda's trying to figure out what to do, and she's like, all right, I'll try and out-biologic this, because I love how Machine Man's like, fine, you have to figure out this whole love thing, because I like what they did when they explained this, because the controller hacked in, it damaged Motherboard to her acting this way. So it's not it's a happy accident that it happened with the controller, not that it was one of his whole plan thing. I kind of like that this was a just weird one-off thing that happened because of the plan that he had for the whole world. And Amanda's like, okay, I got to get through him somehow. And of course, she needs a distraction. And Machine Man's like, yeah, okay, I got this. Goes into full kind of Russian bot troll mode on Tony. He's like, all right, once I get my suit on, we'll get this done. He's like, people would wait for you to get dressed. It's like, yep. Changed a little bit. See him putting him on. I was like, God, see Machine Man's reaction to it was great. Then, of course, Amanda got up, started singing her song and everything, and is able to get through to Tony and kind of wake him up. But of course, Maria has one last kind of trick up her sleeve, talking about how she has been watching Tony and everything and reading all of his data and saying that there is no biological trace of the original Tony Stark, that he is actually, when he is outside, he is in a physical simulation, and that here, among kind of like the AI remnant, AI world and everything, he's really alive and at home. And Tony's like, I feel that that's the truth and everything. He's like, that's what I've been fearing, kind of thing. It's like, holy crap. And that kind of makes sense with how Tony has upgraded and changed himself over the years, but that doesn't really mean that he's still not Tony Stark. So we'll have to see how he's able to kind of come to terms with that, and what Amanda will be able to do to kind of get him to realize that, because this is a pretty this is a pretty big thing to be fighting. Motherboard being that crazy, having access to this kind of information, and being able to twist it and everything to really hit Tony into being like, I kind of belong in here, and stop him from kind of going and trying to deal with the biggest threat of what's going on with the controller. Because we'd also seen that, as we got back to it, that Gauntlet and the rest of Bain forces were helping Wasp and Rhodey, and that was a kind of big thing. But Bain is also watching, as well as Arno Stark, even though we didn't see Arno's face, because she said it was a Stark problem. Of course, the guy behind her started going like, and she's like, oh yeah, a Tony Stark problem, as everybody's trying to figure out what's going on. Because Yocasta was also dealing with stuff, but she only had kind of a small part, saying that she was trying to get back to the headquarters. But I'm like, all right, Gauntlet getting in the fray to help them out, and we see all the Bain forces, but they're going to need more help to take on the controller. So we've got Motherboard dropping that bomb, which will be really interesting to see how that plays out as the arc continues. We see that they still need some big firepower to take on the controller, and Andy's getting some good work on trying to stop the controller's control chips inside of the escape mask. So there's a lot of big stuff, and I can't wait to see where this goes, and hopefully there aren't as many delays going forward. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.